So following the first reading that we had yesterday, we weren't anticipating the actual wording of this bill to be released until next week. However, it has indeed been updated. This is its long title here, basically parents who choose to home educate their children. And just like the schools bill and the children not in school bill, they all falsely advertise that they will be doing X, Y, and Z as part of their title. This is the news on it. So the second reading, the general debate and aspects of the bill will be scheduled. So we're waiting for that so that we can update you all. This shows you the staging. So it'll go first reading, second reading. If it passes second reading, it will be tested for viability monetarily, and there'll be a private little conversation about it. Then it will go through third reading and pass through to Houses of Parliament, House of Commons, and be read through all the way there as well before it's passed as law. So plenty of time. This is very early stages at the moment, but just to make you aware. And then the publication itself is the wording of the bill. So this is the bill itself. They want it added in after section 436A as 436B, with a duty to register children not in school. It goes on to say that condition A is that the child is in the local authority area, that they're compulsory of school age, and that they aren't registered at a relevant school. It goes on to mention what a relevant school is and what a child not in school is. The thing that keeps bugging me on all of these bills is that the parent must register the child with the name and home address of each parent of the child. There are no exemptions for this. So obviously, if a parent is fleeing domestic abuse or domestic violence, they're not going to want to provide the local authority with both parents' contact information for the fear that it might actually get leaked to the absent parent that they're fleeing from. To the extent that the local authority have the information of the child's characteristics under the Equality Act, whether the child has any special educational needs, actions taken by a local authority following in or connection with inquiries made by local authorities under section 47 of the Children's Act. So this is a new bit that they've put in. Basically, if your child has ever been involved with social services, that will also be recorded alongside whether you've got an EHC plan or a protected characteristic under the Equalities Act, whether the child is looked after, the reasons why the child meets section C, including information provided by the parent of the child as those. So section C was the reason why they were not in school, whether the support is being provided, any information about the child's characteristics, circumstances, interactions with the local authority, basically any bitchy notes that they fancy putting on there about your child, any other information about the child's characteristics, and all of this is so that they can continue to maintain a register with as much information as they so wish without needing to admit via GDPR that they're keeping it and they're not disclosing it to you. Or a right to erasure. Register under this may also contain other information. Of course it can. Anything they fancy. How local authority must retain a register, including a provision relating to the register to be kept up to date. So this is like what the LA must do. They must form the register, etc., etc. No information from the register may be published. A parent of a child who becomes eligible to be registered by a local authority must inform the local authority, provide the LA with any information as above. The parent of child who is registered must provide the authority on request any information, inform the authority of a change to any of the information, and inform the authority if a child ceases to be eligible to be registered. The person must comply with a duty under section 1 or 2 within the relevant period. Relevant period means 15 days. So they're going back to that use of the 15 days, which is absolutely ludicrous. For example, if you are in a position of being homeless or fleeing domestic violence, it's going to be a while of instability, and 15 days is just not long enough. Duties do not apply where the child is receiving a full-time education by any or other of the following. Yeah, look, see here, arrangements made by the local authority under section 19. So this is exempting the very children that need the safeguarding. Bit that really bugs me. So this bit here is about EOTAS. At the moment, a local authority can provide 3 hours a week for a child with EOTAS and deem that full-time education. So this isn't going to expose those with EOTAS. However, at the beginning, it did give the indication that children who were receiving education other than at school were to be included. That makes me quite cross, because that's the only benefit to this bloody register.